Hello, it's Dr. Jeffrey Spiegel from the Spiegel Center in Newton, Massachusetts, www.drspiegel.com, and I'm happy to speak to you now about creating the perfect lips and why it's not just size, but brightness that matters. At the Spiegel Center in Newton, Massachusetts, we're a destination for lips. People come to us for facial feminization, of course, and all sorts of facial aesthetic surgery and procedures. Facial analysis has often been done as a mathematical endeavor, where using ratios and angles that you've been taught, you attempt to determine what's attractive. On the surface, this can't be the right way to go, because how could the angles and ratios for an attractive Swedish face be the same as that of a Nigerian or Korean face, or for that matter, someone from Brazil or Ohio? Obviously, faces come in many different shapes and sizes, and there are attractive faces from all over the world, but all with different mathematical ratios when it comes to what they're presenting. People instinctively know how to make themselves look good. Women of all nationalities hold a camera above their head to make their eyes look brighter and their chin look smaller, while men hold the camera low when doing a selfie photo to emphasize the chin and jaw, and the eyes get smaller. These are very opposite. We play up our strengths, as you can see in this before and after of someone who's had facial feminization surgery at our center. You can see that you instinctively play up your strengths, and that when a feminized face is photographed, the person tries to project bright eyes, full lips, and softer features. Now, lips are very popular in today's world. A quick search on the internet for lips of one celebrity, Kendall Jenner, will reveal over 13 million pages devoted to discussing that. At different meetings, there are talks and talks and talks on this, all of which present volume as the key component for making lips look good. And there are a lot of talks about how and where to put this volume, whether it's in the form of fat grafting, fillers, or other techniques. However, do overfilled lips always look good? Here's two well-known TV celebrities in the United States who have had their lips filled. To me, neither of these faces look particularly natural, nor do their lips look attractive. But why? They've both received plenty of volume. More and more people are trying to study this. A number of papers have come out in the last few years, again, trying to use mathematical approaches to determine the ideal appearance of lips. One paper that came out in 2017 asked 430 people, approximately, what the correct ratio of size for the upper and lower lips should be. Again, they're thinking about volume. They came up with 1 to 2. Another paper using more than twice as many raters found that the correct ratio would be 1 to 1. Now, when multiple tests and multiple studies reveal conflicting information, especially when both studies are done the right way, it likely reveals that what they're evaluating is not the answer. So while mathematics can be beautiful, beauty is not mathematical. Here's a set of lips which are closely adherent to the golden ratio. Golden ratio has been a popular method for determining attractiveness, and one could readily say that these are the perfect lips. And indeed, these lips do look more attractive than some of the others we've seen. But is it because 1 to 1.6 is the ideal ratio instead of 1 to 2 or 1 to 1? Many people have discussed the golden ratio, including Dr. Stephen Marquardt, who created his famous mask for using as a guide for facial aesthetics. It is our opinion that this mask is not only not helpful, but detrimental to achieving good facial aesthetics. So beauty is not truly mathematical. It's also not rabbit-like. If you're going to be doing a lip lift, you need to make sure you're doing it right so that you're not going to be creating rabbit-like lips. One study from 2017 showed that slight variations along the vermilion border and in the cupid's area, particularly in the cupid's bow, are highly identifiable by observers, and anything that appears off is seen as unattractive. When we do lip procedures, the most common comment from people is, "I don't want to look like a rabbit." Now, this photo shows a before and after from someone who did a lip lift that was done outside of my office, not by me, and the person does have improved brightness around the mouth. Now, brightness around the mouth is the key, but that's a rabbit-like look with the lips elevated too much in the center. Now let's look at these lips. These have very different ratios. The one on the left is more 1 to 2. The one on the right is more 1 to 1. Neither one adheres to the golden ratio, Both are beautiful, and again, it's the brightness. It's the light. Our brains appreciate lightness and brightness around the mouth. The teeth are reflecting that light, and that's what's creating the very attractive aesthetic. Lipstick commercials will tell you that you need volume, color, and moisture for attractive lips. Now, this is true. Why do we like these things? Well, it's very simple. Someone who's been kissing has their lips get enlarged, they get engorged with blood, they get redder, and they get moist. When you see someone whose lips are full, red, and moist, you naturally assume in your brain that they are attracted to you, and that makes you feel good and makes you feel good about how they look. This is why we like this appearance. But again, the brightness is the true key to having the face look attractive and the lips look natural. Luminance has been studied for a while, and it's the luminance that we'll see moving forward that we need to apply to all aspects of facial surgery, particularly around the mouth. As you can see in this photo with the person at rest, while the lips are smaller on the right in this particular photo, the smile is more attractive, the face is more attractive because of the brightness. So it's not just volume. And each of these ladies didn't need the volume, they needed a lip lift. Many people apply volume because of the law of the instrument by Maslow, which says, if you have a hammer, everything is a nail, and if what you can do is fillers, then everyone gets fillers. And that's the secret to being overfilled. So again, brightness is the key. Other people go to get brightness around the mouth by tooth lengthening. This is a very popular aesthetic dentistry technique, which I think should be condemned. People who are older, they go see their aesthetic dentist and say, I don't like my smile so much. The dentist says, great, let's make your teeth longer so we can see your teeth. But when they smile, they have particularly long upper teeth. This is truly not natural. Shortening the lip is both rejuvenating and natural, as well as attractive. When you shorten the lip, you naturally make the lips fuller, which achieves a secondary goal. We do this through a subnasal lip lift. It's quick, it's relatively unknown, which means it's not unknown amongst facial plastic surgeons, but unknown amongst patients. So they like that because other people don't know to look for any signs of a lip lift, however subtle they are. The balance of the position of the lips must be remembered. The upper lip should project a little bit further than the lower lip a bit further than the chin. And again, these lips look unnatural because the lips are too dark. A number of decision points exist in creating beautiful and attractive lips, whether to do the incision under the nose or along the vermilion border, whether to do a single incision across the columellar base or to break it up into two, how far lateral you should go wrapping around the ala, the shape of this extension, the amount of resection, whether or not to undermine, and whether or not to add a corner lift. The keys to the procedure, in my opinion, are to go lateral. Going lateral prevents the leporine rabbit-like look and allows the lateral aspects of the lip to be elevated. In general, I think undermining is not a good idea because undermining will reduce the amount of lip lift that is achieved by allowing the skin closer to the incision line to close with less tension rather than lifting. The philtrum should be medialized when doing this correctly because a fuller, more pronounced philtrum is another sign of youth. But most of all, you want to think about getting proper tooth show, which is ideally 4 to 6 upper incisors visible at rest. Sometimes a lateral lip lift is done if the person has good central tooth show but not lateral, or if they have a very, very full columella with an obtuse angle where the incision would be too visible. You need to think about the shape of the nose when determining which incision to use and where the crease is between the nose and the upper lip. Sometimes you can extend into the nose and other times you need to stay in that crease fully across. This is a classic bullhorn type incision extending laterally. You can see that 30 to 40% of the upper lip can be removed safely. Immediately afterwards, I close this with 6/0 nylon. Take out those stitches between 5 and 7 days later, and the incision heals quite beautifully with fullness and brightness. Sometimes the skin that's removed can be deepithelialized and reinserted into the upper lip as a tissue graft. Other times, if this is done at the same time as other procedures, SMAS, fascia, or other tissues can be used as a substitute for this dermal graft. The dermal graft is passed through with a tendon passer into the plane just above the orbicularis muscle. The lips are shortened with improved projection and it's a very predictable and nice procedure. Thank you very much for your attention. We're happy to answer any questions, and you can see more about lip lifts by following us on many social media channels at Dr. Spiegel.